Next, many countries are relying on contact tracing apps as a key part of their plan to ease lockdowns and gradually return to normal. The technology tracks a user's location and alerts them if they've come into contact with an infected person. The Australian government is telling residents that downloading its tracing app is the ticket out of lockdown. So far, almost 3 million people have done so. But James Crabtree is an associate professor in practice at the National University of Singapore's Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy. Thanks very much for being with us. So you're not as convinced by this. You think there are limitations to these apps?
Yeah, good morning. The contact tracing apps, I think, are often seen as some kind of magic bullet that an app on your phone is going to get us out of the problem of how you test and track outbreaks of the coronavirus. And there are many problems with them. The first of which is that it's very difficult to get people to adopt them. I'm speaking to you from here in Singapore, where they had an app. You had one in Australia, but so far no one's managed to get more than about 2 in 10 people to download these apps, and that's nowhere near as many as the experts think that you need to make them effective.
OK, so if people do download them, though, what's the problems then?
Well, there's a trade-off between privacy and effectiveness. So there are various different models. Some are very good at protecting privacy, like the one that Google and Apple are developing, but unfortunately they might be slightly less useful for public health authorities. On the other end, you can have ones which are more useful, which provide more data to public health authorities, but then they come with privacy risks. So there isn't really a perfect model which both helps you track people or trace people, but also protects their privacy.
But what about countries, look at South Korea, look at the success it's had?
Well, so South Korea would be a great example of a country that has gone all the way on the utility side, but hasn't done very much to protect privacy. They've taken data from mobile phone networks. There aren't really much in the way of privacy protection. So a country like America, which has privacy protecting rights and lots of privacy groups, would find the South Korean approach unacceptable. OK, and what about problems like of a more practical nature, say parking the privacy, parking the take-up of people actually downloading the app? What about the app's effectiveness? Well, these can be problems too. There's a big problem of what they call false positives. So this works on Bluetooth. It's the same system that would connect an iPhone to a pair of wireless headphones. But that system isn't going to be able to tell if there are two apps that are 9 feet away, whether one of them is on the other side of a wall or on the other side of a pane of glass, or whether somebody might be wearing gloves and a mask. So there is a risk that lots of people get messages saying that they might have been in contact with people who had coronavirus who haven't actually had it, and that damages trust in the way the apps work. Now, to be clear, I think these apps are part of the solution. They are going to be part of the toolkit that we use to get out of this crisis. They just are going to be not the only solution, and there are many other things like testing and social isolation which are going to matter more.
I see. Really interesting perspective, James. Thanks very much for your time. James Crabtree there.
Thanks so much.